So it was difficult not to have been moved by the recent pictures of Earth from NASA's Artemis 2 spacecraft. A distant, solitary blue ball floating in a sea of blackness. So it seemed a perfect moment to visit the new Leamington Eco Hub, which conveniently cohabits with the Library of Things down at 65 Bedford Street. So I'm here now with Judith and Sam, two of its directors. Both welcome to Life in Lem.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Sam.
So Judith, let's start at the very beginning, as they say in the film. What is the Eco Hub?
So every eco hub across the country is different, of course, but we have a common theme around all of the different hubs or climate emergency centres, as they go by different names elsewhere. But the idea is essentially to be part of the community and to empower individuals to live lower carbon lifestyles, to regenerate nature and overall build their resilience.
So this is clearly part of a national network. Are there others just locally around near Leamington?
Yes, absolutely. And we have a lot to thank our friends in Stratford and Rugby for, who've really role modelled what a great hub can look like. So if you're out and about, please do pop into the hubs there. They have lots of exciting initiatives like community gardens and food kitchens and zero waste shops. So really great to go and explore.
So Sam, the ecology of the planet, I mean, we've got drill baby drill and all of that stuff going on. Climate change, it feels like a massive challenge, and sometimes it feels a bit futile, doesn't it, locally trying to do things when there's so much going on in the world which seems to be working against that.
My feeling is that we can focus locally and we can have impacts here. And as Judith said, there's lots of eco hubs springing up around the place, and it's a real ground up phenomenon. Sometimes it can feel a bit hopeless relying on governments to make the big changes, but I think as more and more people are getting involved with local environmental action, and it's a challenge, we don't need a few people doing it perfectly, we need everybody doing it imperfectly, doing what they can.
And I guess for people, it's about just making what difference you can. In terms of your attitude about yourself and about the planet, do people get some mental benefit from that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're in a reciprocal relationship with nature, and we benefit from working in community with each other and doing things like local biodiversity projects, energy projects, just getting involved with people and not being on our own with our worries.
Right, so I'll ask you a little bit more about that in a moment. But Judith, first, in terms of practical projects locally versus campaigning and lobbying, what's the mix of activities you tend to get involved with?
It's a great question, because obviously a lot of the things that we're trying to tackle have big system-wide solutions that need civil society, that need businesses, that need government to come together to solve them. And so, of course, we will support those campaigns and make sure that people can advocate in a way that does what we all want to see, the change we all want to see. But it's really important to say that at a hub like ours, it is non-party political and absolutely everyone is welcome, because this affects all of us and we're all part of the solution. And so where we try to focus is on really pragmatic, practical actions and projects. So, for example, we are part of the Warwick District Council Thermal Imaging Camera Loan Scheme, so people can see where their home might be less energy efficient and practically save some money by having better insulation, accessing some of the grants and things like that. Or by hosting events where people can come together to share knowledge or find out what other people are doing in an area they're interested in, like on biodiversity or like on cycling and active transport, which is also, you feel better and it's lower emission, so good all round. And I suppose that links in with maybe some national and international organisations that people might already be involved in. With all of our lovely volunteers, we're clued into lots of local groups, regional groups, some of the political structures and some of the national organisations as well. But basically, we aim to be practical. We want to drive change locally, which might involve some campaigning, but we want to really tap into some of those existing structures and make sure that we're not duplicating effort and we're really driving impact.
So Judith mentioned some of the things that people are involved with. Sam, could you give us some examples if someone's going, I want to try and make a difference. What can I be doing locally to help out? What are the projects people can jump into?
Okay, brilliant. There are local water testing projects, river monitoring, river quality monitoring. There's projects with Safe Avon. There's an Earthwatch project coming up. They just measure water twice a year in April and September, but Safe Avon will do that throughout the year. There's recycling schemes. There's a brilliant organisation called Warwick Recycles. We're really keen to get workshops going here, like visible mending, learning about sustainable food, decarbonising your home. Like Judith mentions, there's the camera, and then other organisations locally that people could get involved with. Action 21 is fantastic, and that's a space for volunteering. ARC have gardens around the area and woodland projects where you can go and help with biodiversity or adult wellbeing sessions. There are loads of community gardens springing up all over the place. There's Leamington has a new orchard, Covington, Brunswick, there's the Labyrinth Library, that's ARC again, that one. Incredible Edible. Clean, Covington, Leamington, Environmental Action Now, loads of projects there. There's a wonderful community farm just outside of Leamington called Canalside, where you can get locally grown organic veg boxes, and you can go and volunteer and help with the farming. They do wonderful social days. Local businesses like Core and Zero. There's wonderful Morris and the Library of Things, Foundry Wood. There's litter picking groups, Cycle Infinity, encouraging people to get bike riding, school bike buses. And there's the Spa Swifts, where people are making bird boxes for the swifts to come home to when they come and stay with us. I've probably missed some, but that's a few to be going on with.
Sounds like there's a huge amount actually going on. Judith, I mean, in all of that, what's the distinctive role that the Eco Hub performs?
One of the reasons why we decided to set up a hub in Leamington was having got together a bunch of local groups who thought that, having seen the example from elsewhere in the country, it would be something that would benefit them all, a common good, whether it's in a place to signpost people to those existing activities, a space to host events and activities, but also a place to meet people who are not currently involved. So I guess to summarise, the hub offers a gateway for people who aren't currently engaged, and it's a resource that all of the existing groups can use to support them in their outreach and impact.
So I'm conscious there's some really important dates coming up. Do you want to, Sam, just give us a heads up on what's upcoming?
Yeah, we've got a couple of big film screenings coming up. There's a wonderful heartwarming film called Power Station, which is about a couple of artists who turn their whole street into renewable energy sourced power, on the 20th of May at St. Peter's Church Hall, 7 p.m. And then we're going to show a series of screenings of the National Emergency Briefing, which is a group of experts last November gave talks about the state of where we are at to a group of MPs and other people down in London, but it didn't get very widely publicised. We've got 2 showings coming up at Temperance, one coming up on the 11th of May and the venue's TBC, and then there's another one in June coming up, and I think there'll be more dates announced for that one. A couple of other things going on around the Earth Day weekend. We'll be taking part in the Earthwatch river testing, so there'll be something going on around that weekend. You'll be able to find information on our Facebook page and Instagram. And Earth Day is coming up on the 22nd of April, and I know a lot of places now are moving to make that the whole of April, so Earth Month, which I think is wonderful, deserves more than a day. Earth Day every day here. And there'll be lots of different activities, and we'll be sharing those on our social media.
So Earth Day, that's happening like right now. What is Earth Day about, Judith?
So Earth Day has been marked, I suppose, since the 1970s, and the idea is to mobilise people to protect the planet. We only have one home, and we need to treasure and nurture it. So the idea is to raise your voice, to take action on one of the local projects or an issue that matters to you, and generally recognise and appreciate the planet that we call home.
And in terms of keeping the lights on and the doors open for the Eco Hub, is there anyone particularly you want to give a shout out to in terms of their support to you?
Absolutely. We want to say a massive thank you to all the local community groups who use the space and where lots of volunteers come from, but also going back to where this project first started about 18 months ago. Thank you to Warwickshire Climate Alliance for convening the first group, to Warwickshire County Council and the Leamington Spa Town Council for their very generous funding, and of course to our particular friends Action 21 and the Library of Things, who we work very closely together with.
And so with Earth Day, right on our Earth Month maybe, right on our radar now, seems a perfect opportunity to take a particular interest in this. Judith, if someone wants to find out more or somehow get involved, make a bit of a difference, what should they do?
We'd love to hear from you. So whether you're already involved in climate and environment issues locally, or whether it's something which is completely new to you, please get in touch. If you're an existing group and you're looking for meeting space, or you're looking for somewhere to share your information, 65 Bedford Street is a great place to host that. And if you're walking by in town, just drop in. You can come in on a Wednesday, Thursday or Saturday, or generally there'll be somebody here from the library or the hub. You can find us online. We have a website, on Instagram, on Facebook, or you can email us at lemecohub@postio.uk.
Lovely. And I'll put the website address and the email address in the blurb alongside the podcast. So just really remains to say, it is easy to feel tiny, isn't it, when considering the scale of the challenge here, but that's no reason for inaction. The Eco Hub gives us a focus for making a positive difference, setting an example. Judith, Sam, thank you so much for sharing today what your Eco Hubbers are doing to help us and the planet, and how we can all get involved.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you for coming in and talking to us.